box, if you're thinking absolutely differently, that's what is called creativity, and it can be in any field, any department, any segment. Something which is unique, different, out of the box, and is away from the regular thing.
अस्सलामु अलैकुम, मैं ज़मीर अहमद अंसारी और आप देख रहे हैं जेड न्यूज़ फॉर यू। अर्ज यह है कि आपने अपने चैनल जेड न्यूज़ फॉर यू को अभी तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो सब्सक्राइब करें और साथ में दिए हुए बेल आइकन को भी दबाएं, जिससे हमारी आने वाली सभी वीडियोस के नोटिफिकेशन सबसे पहले आपको मिल सकें।
Of coexistence, respecting the different layers of feeling and expressions without any kind of the pressure on it. So there is a flow, independent flow. I would say from the Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna is also described a bit. That means yoga khyamam bahamyam. So that means whatever that we are doing, as long as we justify that, that is the true essence. Many times we do, but if you ask to the person himself, sometimes the person doesn't even willing to justify that. So that should not be there. And perhaps to me that the essence of belongingness, that is the word, or being and becoming. Jivanam vardhanan chayate iti so dharma. So dharma, that is the word, the dha that we call in Hindi or Devanagari, that talks about dharan and holding. And ma is called proceedingly growing it up. Dharan karna plus usko aage बढ़ाना. That is.
So then let's quickly refer to the next C, that is creativity. How do you define creativity? What does creativity mean to you? And how are you harnessing it in your real life today?
I believe, creativity, as it is a popular proverb, cannot be taught in the classroom. Each one of us born with a born creative insight. The way of your articulation and the way you interact or communicate through any kind of mediums and all, and impacting to its mass, looking at you, holding your thought process, to me it is creativity. In my part, I just briefly tell you, at the age of 20 years when I joined UN, I was the youngest member of the UN team, working across more than 24 countries. I learned one thing. Creativity means the simplest way to communicate your audience, accepting what they are willing after receiving your point communicating. This is the art of creativity. You don't need any jingoistic manner, not required. It's the simplest way to communicate. What you want, if I fulfill your answer in a very simplest way, you will be the happiest person. By putting a lot of things, what we see and call so-called creative things, it is not the way to me. Thank you.
Yes. Mr. Marwa.
Yeah. See, the word creativity is emerged from a word called creation. If you are different, if you are innovative, if you are out of the box, if you're thinking absolutely differently, that's what is called creativity, and it can be in any field, any department, any segment. Something which is unique, different, out of the box, and is as away from the regular thinking will be called a creativity. The word creation means you're emerging, you're creating something out of nothing. That's creativity.
And how have you been harnessing it in your real life?
Well, that's my business, that's my love, that's my passion, and from very beginning I wanted to be a part and parcel of this creative world where I wanted to be different. That's what I'm trying to say here. So I started with theatre, and I wanted to be different in theatre. Then I got into television, and then into cinema, and then because I realized that I am different from people, I created Noida Film City. And when nobody could even think like that, so that has become a complete creative project. And I'm very happy that because people at that time, 30 years back or 34 years back, they used to think that Mumbai is the only place where films can be created, and Mumbai is the only city where only creative people live. So I had to prove everyone wrong. That's another creativity, because I have to prove other people. And when I designed this film city, that was my first major creation, I must say that, towards the world of creativity. And I'm very happy that it has done well. Then I, of course, followed by the creation of a very exclusive and a boutique kind of a studio. And then it followed by a very different and a very exclusive a film school under the name and banner of Asian Academy of Film and Television. And I'm very happy because we were different, because there were new creativity as departments or sections. People love them, they like them, and they are popular with the people.
Absolutely. Well, many of our media industry would be thankful to you for that, because that's where a lot of the offices are now in Film City in Noida, if most of you don't know. But Shivani, let's take that question to you on creativity, what it means to you, and how you've also been harnessing it in your own life, because you've been doing it also with much elaborate.
Thank you, Udai. For a musician, a singer, composer, which I am, and a live performer also, I find my creativity through my songs, the jingles. The very first All India Radio FM signature tune was created by me, and I think it still plays 20 years later. So I feel very proud and very blessed actually that when a singer and a composer can create a song which everybody is singing. Today when I sing सजना आ भी जा, तो सब लोग आ भी जा तो जरूर गाते हैं मेरे साथ. So they sing my songs, सजना आ भी जा, songs like जिंदा हूँ मैं, songs like बाखुदा, all the songs that I've created for Bollywood. I recently collaborated with the Grammy Award winning musician Ricky Cage for a world peace anthem. So I think this is the way we musicians find our creativity, expression in our creativity, by making our songs which everybody can sort of relate to, connect with, and they remember us with our music. I think the singer is not the star, it's a song which is the star. So this is where I find my creativity. My creativity also comes in my performances, how I curate my performance. Each performance cannot be the same, it has to be reinvented. So there has to be a lot of innovation, reinvention happening in all my performances that I do, because people should not think that this is a copy-paste happening. So creativity is happening all the time, 24/7. So now I'm inspired by Sandeep ji, because for a long time I've also been talking to him. I want to create a state-of-the-art music academy just for performing arts, because I've been performing for 22 years now. So I'd like to impart the knowledge and the experience that I've learned on stage, my on-stage experience. Not about the ragas, but about the on-stage experience of how to face the audience, how to project your voice from the diaphragm, how to face the mic, how to sing into the mic. In a studio it's different, on a stage it's different. So all these little techniques, how to bring breathing, yoga, everything into your body language, into your energy when you're performing. So there's creativity happening. I think even when I'm sleeping, I'm creating in my dreams also. So that's what it is.
It's imbibed in your system, is what you're saying. Mayur. I'm doubling up the order.
Uday, I'm a little waylaid by this question. What is creativity? I don't know, and I'm not going to sit here and give my biodata that I've done this and I've done that, because that is not really what creativity is. If you talked about creative process, well, it's a very special place that you are in, and you experiment. I think the spirit of creativity lies in the spirit of experimenting. That trying something, you might fail. 9 times out of 10 you will fail. The only thing sure about creativity is that you will fail. That's the only surety I can give. That's the only thing. कभी गलत ही होगा, मगर कभी सही हो जाएगा शायद. So वो 10 में से एक बार, 100 में से एक बार, मिलियन में से एक बार कभी हो जाता है, तुक्का लग जाता है, सुर बैठ जाता है, सरस्वती आ जाती है, बहुत सारे वर्ड्स है उसके लिए हमारे पास. But I think rather than talking about creativity, if try to understand the process of creativity, try to understand the spirit of experiment behind that, and it will take you and it will make you creative. That's what I've been doing. That's what.
So Badri.
मैं शास्त्रीय संगीत की गायिका हूँ. अब हमारे राग संगीत जो है उसमें क्रिएटिविटी नहीं हो तो आप कहीं नहीं है, क्योंकि एक राग में कुछ स्वर हैं. मान लीजिए 7 ही तो स्वर हैं दुनिया में, तो हमारे राग संगीत में 7 स्वर के साथ 5 और स्वर हैं जो विकृत स्वर कहते हैं, कोमल और तीव्र. अब इन 12 स्वरों के अंदर हजारों राग हैं, और उन रागों में से मान लीजिए 20-25 राग ऐसे हैं जो गाए जाते हैं। अब आप सोचिए इतने कलाकार हैं, वो सब गाते हैं वही राग, राग तो वही है, बंदिशें अलग अलग हो सकती हैं, कॉम्पोजिशंस अलग होते हैं, स्वर वही है, राग का जो स्वरूप है वो भी वही है। तो क्रिएटिविटी हम ये सोच के नहीं प्रोग्राम करने बैठते हैं कि हमारे में जो क्रिएटिविटी है वो बाहर आ जाए, ऐसा कभी नहीं होता है। बात यह है कि उन स्वरों में हम डूबते जाते हैं और जो क्योंकि हमारा जो संगीत है वो पूर्ण रूपेण जो है इम्प्रोवाइजेशनल है। आपको इम्प्रोवाइज करना है, आपको स्टेज पे बैठ के इम्प्रोवाइज करना है। और एक 2 मिनट की बंदिश आप 1 घंटा गा रहे हैं, आप सोचिए, तो उसमें आप याद कितना रख सकते हैं। और अगर आप याद रख के गाते हैं तो श्रोता तो चले जाएंगे, वो सुनेंगे नहीं। तो ऐसा होता है कि एक ही राग में एक ही बंदिश एक बार बैठ के जो कलाकार गाते हैं वो उसके बाद वो खत्म हो जाता है। अगले दिन अगर वही राग गाएं तो वो किसी और तरीके से सामने आएगा, वो कलाकार को आएगा। तो इसके लिए मैं ये सोचती हूँ कि हमारे संगीत में वो एक ऐसी बात है कि जो आपको अंदर की तरफ झांकने को मजबूर करता है। उसके बिना आप उस राग को सोच ही नहीं सकते। उस राग को कैसे बढ़ाएंगे, उसका विस्तार कैसे करेंगे, उसके कुछ टूल्स होते हैं, आलाप, बोल आलाप, तान बोल तान, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा, बट दे आर जस्ट द टूल्स। सो योर क्रिएटिविटी हैज टू वर्क ऑल द टाइम। और वो कलाकार जो है वो कलाकार कोई बनता नहीं है, वो इस जैसे आपने कहा मयूर जी ने कि वो इट्स अ प्रोसेस, इट्स अ कंप्लीट प्रोसेस। और जो वो कब एक स्टूडेंट, एक म्यूजिक का स्टूडेंट कब वो आर्टिस्ट बन जाता है, उसमें देयर इज नॉट मच टू शो ऑफ because it is taking you inwards. So when the swaras of the rag, they take your mind inwards, and it instantly you start improvising, and that improvisation comes from creativity.
अब हम आते हैं आज के मुख्य विषय पे. Let's now talk about the topic we are of course going to be looking at over the course of the next 40 minutes or so. Indian films and music going global. Does our panel believe that it has gone global? Does our panel believe that it's in the process of going global? Does our panel believe that it's not gone global yet and there is a lot more that needs to be done? Well, we will be delving into those issues. So let's start out by asking you all, because this has been a truly fantastic year, hasn't it? From just 12 months ago, the Cannes Film Festival in France, recognizing India as the country of focus, our pavilion being graced by the greats of Hollywood, to Natu Natu from the movie RRR winning the Golden Globe Award and the Oscar this year, to Ricky Cage once again winning the Grammy Award, because he's won it before too, who Shibani was just referring to, that she's collaborated with. So have we truly gone global? Do these three instances prove that or not? Mr. Manu.
Let me tell you first that yes, we are already global. We must believe in this. But the scope is tremendous, unbelievable. You can't even imagine how beautifully we can cover the whole world through our own Indian cinema. Now, we are already exporting our films to 162 countries, officially and unofficially, both ways. And the impact of Indian cinema is unbelievable. I mean, I am so lucky that I have traveled abroad many times. I've been to a large number of countries as a state guest, as a guest of honor for different occasions. I've attended a large number of Indian festivals abroad, and the kind of response, the kind of warm welcome you get, I cannot, I think, express in words. So that shows that Indian cinema is already with the people, because I'm not the one who started Indian cinema. We are 120-year-old industry. Let's put that way. And every film artist, every film technician's contribution, it goes into it, making it a global. I mean, I tell you one very small example. I was a state guest in Senegal, and I had to attend probably 7 events in 3 or 4 days. and the Minister of Culture from Senegal, he was accompanying me, and our Indian ambassador, he had to accompany me, being a state guest, and we were attending all these 6 events. I don't know what happened. Every event, when it used to finish, the audience used to come and used to touch me like this, like this. So I thought maybe it's a custom in Senegal that someone who's a chief guest, he must be touched by the people. So one time, second time, third time, I was restless. I checked with the culture minister. I say, what is this exactly? Is it a custom in Senegal? He says, no, I've never seen this kind of a thing. I'm a culture minister. I attend event every day. So I said, what is this? He invited those people close to the stage and asked him that, why this gesture? And this has been happening now from 2 days in all 3-4 events. The word was that Mr. Sandeep Marwa is the 17th Indian who has come to India as a state guest. The earlier 16th were the fertilizer minister of India. All fertilizer ministers been going to Senegal, and he's the first person who's representing Indian film industry. We want to touch him so that we can tell our generations that, because we don't know when the next person is going to be here, that we touched one person who came from Indian film industry. Now, I swear on God, there were tears in my eyes. I couldn't believe. And then the same evening, when I was given a state reception, that 40 minutes program was full of Hindi cinema songs. And there were groups who prepared so beautifully the same kind of a Bollywood dances. And this is one example I'm giving you. I went to Nigeria, I went to Ethiopia, I went to Belgium, I went to UK, I went to USA. Now I can name many countries. And I am amazed that this is what is happening. There are many examples, but I am cutting down to maybe a much faster track. And today, you'll be surprised that I'm chairing a body called International Chamber of Media and Entertainment Industry. And this is one chamber where we created 196 international committees, and the committees that this chamber was created to support the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, to have best of the relation possible with each and every country of the world through art and culture. Cinema is a part of it, obviously. And then, because I am from Indian film industry, because I am part of Indian culture, I have been able to create 70 MOUs in this shortest period of time, and 70 nations, government, they have nominated me as their culture ambassador. It's become a world record. I'm surprised. And let me, bottom line, because I have been also representing Indian film industry, because I'm on the board of Film Federation of India, I'm on the Indian Motion Picture Producer Association, and many other organizations. And all these people who are jumping for this, who have so much of confidence in us, because I am representing Indian cinema. Now, if this is not global, then what is global? That 70 countries I'm representing right now, and we are talking cinema every day. Whether it's imports, whether it's exports, whether exchange of artists, whether it's workshops, seminars, interaction programs, whether it's a festival of films, probably I've done 7,500 events, my dear, and representing Indian film industry one way or other way. So let's consider for sure that Indian film industry is global, but when it comes to business, we are weak. Let me tell you. Culture-wise, we are very popular. We're very popular anywhere you go. But business-wise, we still have to. I mean, see the rate of tickets. If you talk about $20, you talk about 100 rupees, 200 rupees, we're much far behind. And when I say total, we've been selling 5 billion theatre tickets in India itself. The largest selling tickets country in the world. Hollywood sells 3.5 billion tickets. So see the popularity within the country and outside the country. I mean, there's a lot to talk about it, but then let other people add to it.
We will come back to that. It's good to get your opening comments on this, and we will come back to talking about how to harness this further, how to increase the potential further, because there is a lot, no doubt. Shivani, do you believe Indian films and music have truly gone global? Do the 3 instances I cited prove that or not quite?
Absolutely. It is very global. And I think you've also just spoken about Ricky Cage and Natu, and of course AR sir kickstarted the whole process. Sandeep ji just told about his experiences. I won't talk about all my experiences, but recent visit to Uzbekistan as a Indian cultural representative to perform there by ICCR. I was sent by Indian Council for Cultural Relations, which is in fact I want to compliment them because they are such a wonderful organization. They really sort of encourage Indian culture to be known abroad. They do this all the time. They keep sending groups. I'm sure, ma'am, you know about this. You must have also representative India there. It's a fantastic experience. Of course, all the Uzbekis, I'm not talking about the Indian audience, but the Uzbekis were singing songs like Jimmy Jimmy and all the Raj Kapoor songs. They are in love with India. They are in love with Indian Bollywood songs, especially the older ones. So it is a fact, it's a proven fact that Indian music, I'll talk about Indian music because Sir talked about films, is definitely loved. India is a favorite anywhere you go. Whether you go to Egypt, where you go to Mauritius, Malaysia, anywhere. Now, let's come to the bigger picture. In the bigger picture, if I want to call a spade, if today a Justin Bieber concert happens in India, it is sold out overnight. आपकी मुझे सहमति है इसमें कि जस्टिन बीबर आते हैं या ब्रायन एडम्स आते हैं तो एकदम से टिकट्स बिक जाती है, राइट? यस. यहां से हमारे आर्टिस्ट जाएंगे, मतलब लेट्स टेक द टॉप मोस्ट नोन नेम्स लाइक अरिजीत सिंह, हु आई थिंक इज फैंटास्टिक, सोनू निगम जी, और many others, or Shreya. Apart from the Indian audience, it becomes a struggle to sell those tickets. Yes or no? So that is where the answer is. We are weak. We still need to make our global presence felt in such a way that the business of music also becomes enhanced. That's what we are actually, we need to enhance. We are a favorite everywhere. Yes. We are loved. Achha, you're from India? Wow. And we just do one namaste and, we become endearing for them. But how much do we sell? That I think really needs to be harnessed. We need hand-holding by the media. We need more stories to be created. We need a lot more amplification of our Indian cultural story abroad so that people wow us even more and the demand increases, that the tickets become sold out in one day. हमें तो ये चाहिए. The business of Indian culture needs to be enhanced. That's what I would like to say.
Subhadra ji, Dr. Desai.
आप लोग बिलियंस में मिलियंस में बात कर रहे हैं, मैं वो बात नहीं कर रही हूँ. सब जानते हैं पंडित रविशंकर जी ने शास्त्रीय संगीत को, भारतीय शास्त्रीय संगीत को पूरे दुनिया भर में फैलाया और बहुत नाम हुआ, बहुत लोगों ने पसंद किया. अभी भी हम लोग जब बाहर कभी भी मैं ट्रैवल करती हूँ, मैं अपने तानपुरा लेकर ट्रैवल करती हूँ और उस तानपुरा को दुनिया भर के एयरपोर्ट्स में सितार सितार करके वो सोचते हैं कि ये सितार है, तो उसको आगे सिक्योरिटी चैनल से निकालते हैं. अब वी हैव कम अ लॉन्ग वे, बट एक बहुत जरूरी बात है कि शास्त्रीय संगीत, क्लासिकल इंडियन, you call it classical Indian classical music or Western classical music. Classical music has always been for classes, for a niche audience. हमें बिलियंस मिलियंस में ऑडियंस कभी चाहिए ही नहीं. किसी भी बड़े म्यूजिशियन को बिलियंस और मिलियंस में हमें नहीं चाहिए. हमें चाहिए जो उस सुर को, उस राग को, उस संगीत को, अपनी उस गायक की भावनाओं को अपने भावनाओं के साथ जोड़ सके. तो मैं ये कहना चाहूंगी कि आपने आईसीसीआर की बात कही. आईसीसीआर में एम्पैनलमेंट होते हैं, सब आर्टिस्टों का होता है. आज नहीं तो कल कहीं ना कहीं वो लोग भेजते हैं. पर दुख की बात है कि शास्त्रीय वोकल म्यूजिक, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट क्लासिकल वोकल म्यूजिक को आईसीसीआर से बहुत कम ही लोगों को भेजा जाता है. आपको बताऊं, 2000 साल में मेरा एम्पैनलमेंट हुआ, वाज वेरी पर्सनल इशू, बट आज 23 साल में आईसीसीआर ने हमको कहीं नहीं भेजा, लेकिन हमने बहुत दुनिया देखा, हम बहुत जगह गए और बहुत लोगों को हमारा संगीत सुनाया और मुझे ये संतोष है कि मुझे किसी के पैर नहीं पड़ने पड़े। एक बात। दूसरी बात है कि दुनिया भर से, हमारे देश में तो लोग सीखना चाहते हैं, शास्त्रीय संगीत सीखेंगे तो हम बॉलीवुड म्यूजिक गा सकेंगे, ऐसी एक धारणा है। ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। बॉलीवुड में जो ये सब जो छोटे बच्चों के जो कार्यक्रम होते हैं टीवी में, क्या कहते हैं उसको, शोज जो होते हैं, हाँ, उन शोज में उन बच्चों को वो वाले गीत सिखा दिए जाते हैं, उनको शास्त्रीय संगीत नहीं सिखा दिया जाता है। उसकी हमें जरूरत भी नहीं है। हमारे पास बहुत स्टूडेंट ऐसे दुनिया भर से आते हैं। अब देखिए, मैं एक यूनिवर्सिटी में के साथ जुड़ी हुई हूँ, वो कैलिफोर्निया में स्थित है, और मास्टर्स डिग्री हिंदुस्तानी म्यूजिक, कर्नाटिक म्यूजिक, कुचिपुड़ी, भरतनाट्यम, ये सब कुछ वहां दिया जा रहा है। और पूरे ऑनलाइन प्रोग्राम्स भी हैं, और पूरे दुनिया भर से, केवल हिंदुस्तानी नहीं, हमारे पूरे देश के शास्त्रीय संगीत और नृत्य को दुनिया भर के लोग सीख रहे हैं। वो सीरियसनेस लोगों में है, वो हजारों के लोगों में तो नहीं होंगे, बट है। मेरे पास आए दिन फोन आते, मेरे अपने भी पर्सनल स्टूडेंट्स भी हैं। कोई ब्राजील में बैठा हुआ है, कोई फ्रांस में बैठा हुआ है, कोई यूएस में, कोई ऑस्ट्रेलिया में। वो किस तरह से सीखते हैं, कितनी हमारे कल्चर को वो जानना चाहते हैं, भाषा जानना चाहते हैं, संस्कृत भाषा जानना चाहते हैं, हिंदी भाषा जिसमें हम लोग गाते हैं, उस भाषा की कविता वो समझना चाहते हैं, वो स्वरों में वो डूबना चाहते हैं। तो इसलिए हम बहुत निश्चिंत हैं कि हम मिलियंस तक नहीं पहुंच सकते, बट हमारा संगीत यानी हिंदुस्तानी संगीत जो है, वो दुनिया भर में फैला हुआ है और फैल रहा है। वो चाहे गवर्नमेंट से हमें मदद मिले ना मिले, बहुत ऐसे प्राइवेट एजेंसीज हैं जो प्रोग्राम्स कराते हैं, बहुत ऐसे हैं।
नहीं, हम चाहेंगे आप खुल के बात करें आप सब, और अपने सुझाव जरूर दें, क्योंकि आई एम हैप्पी टू रिपोर्ट टू ऑल ऑफ यू दैट I've been told the findings and the summary of today's program that's transpired through the day will be presented in a report to the cultural committee of the G20 when the summit does happen, as I said, later this year. Mayur, your thoughts on the topic?
Sorry, I forgot. We were talking about whether Indian music is actually global or not.
Yes, whether it has gone global, whether it's not, or whether you believe there is much more potential.
Okay. See, we are the largest democracy in the world. Population wise अगले 10-15 साल में हम लोग नंबर 1 ही हो जाएंगे। हम तो लगे हुए ऑलरेडी हो गए हैं। चलिए, फिर तो कुछ बचाई ना सब पीछे रहेगा। चलो, वेरी गुड। एक मामले में तो हमने पछाड़ा उसको। खैर, so there has to be the obvious thing is that we should be the biggest music market. We should be the biggest music in the world. But today, even in Asia, we are not the biggest. JASRAC, I work for IPRS. I'm on the board of director of Indian Performing Rights Society. Like that, there is JASRAC in Japan and IGNCA in Korea. So Japan is number 1 in Asia. Korea is number 2, and we are a distant 3rd. So हम टॉप पे नहीं, ठीक है, मार्केट वाइज, बिजनेस वाइज। ग्लोबल इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ म्यूजिक इंडेक्स करके एक स्टडी हुआ अभी, 30 कंट्रीज को लोगों ने स्टडी किया। एज अ ग्लोबल इन्फ्लुएंसर इन म्यूजिक, इंडिया इज 29th, ब्राजील इज नंबर 1, तो हम उसमें भी आगे नहीं। द लार्जेस्ट मार्केट इज यूएस, फॉलोड बाय यूके, कोरिया, फ्रांस। ये 5, 6, 7 बड़े मार्केट्स हैं। और इंडिया में वैविध्यता कितनी है, जस्ट लुक एट द काइंड ऑफ म्यूजिक वी हैव। पहली बात तो हम अपने आप में ग्लोबल उससे कम नहीं है एंटिटी से। We have folk, we have indie, we have classical, we have film music. I don't like the term like calling it Bollywood music, but film music. We have a lot of film music. We have regional, states-wise, a lot of different folk. Like हमारा folk भी folk नहीं है, हमारा folk भी इतना refined है कि और country को classical से better है ना। तो जिस तरह की म्यूजिक पोजिशनिंग हमारी होनी चाहिए, the potential that Indian music or Indian music creators have, or the potential that the market should have, we should not be happy, and we should not just clap, because I was traveling to Oslo and I was at the waterfront and one guy was playing on accordion Raj Kapoor song. right? And I said this. He said, no, this is. I got to know that it's an Azerbaijani song, which Raj Kapoor stole actually. So, but I was another place in Turkey, and there was this homeless guy with 14 dogs, and he came and he met me, and he was like Hindustani. They call Indians Hindustani. Hindustani. I said, yes, Hindustani. I said, who are you? So he said, I'm Baba Jan. So I said, Baba Jan, you're Turkish. So, no, Baba Jan, not Turkey. Baba Jan, Hindustani. And he started singing, Mere Jute Japani. He started singing that, right? So, and Jimmy, like you said, Mithun Da is a great big star in Japan, in Russia, and no, because of, Babida, and if I ask you who wrote that song, I don't know how many of you will be able to tell me. किसको पता है जिमी किसने लिखा है? पॉपुलर म्यूजिक डायरेक्टर है, लिखा किसने? हमारे समीर साहब है ना, उनके फादर अंजान साहब, उनका लिखा हुआ गाना मेरा जूता है जापानी, शैलेंद्र जी का लिखा, इनका शंकर जयकिशन का म्यूजिक है. और anyway, what I'm trying to say is that we don't recognize, we don't know our creators, we don't have the term songwriter in India, we don't understand what that means, because abroad, people who compose music are songwriters, people who write words, they are also songwriters. So like in India, I'm a lyricist, right? I've written 150 movie songs. So I'm a songwriter. I'm not just a lyricist, right? Preetham is a songwriter. He gets the creativity ka, whatever the rights or whatever that is, there are 8 kinds of rights that every creator should have and all. What I'm trying to say is that globally, if we are talking about the rights and monetization and business of Indian music, we have a long way to go. In India, there's a huge compliance issue. There's a huge 1% of live events are licensed in India. 1%. Only 1. And we cannot monitor it. It's not possible for us sitting in Bombay to go to Dibrugarh and Bhusawal and Bhatinda and see where what music is playing. I think what we need, दुनिया की बात छोड़ दीजिए, ग्लोबल तो हम हैं, पहुंच जाएंगे, हो जाएंगे, और ऑलरेडी लोग बहुत प्यार करते हैं हमको, ठीक है, it's not important. Most important thing is only those things become globally big, which have a robust local economy. पैरासाइट पहले कोरिया में हिट हुई, फिर जाके उसको ऑस्कर मिला. तो हमारा वो कहाँ है? Where is that sensibility in us Indians to celebrate and pay for our music? Last time आप लोग कसम से, मतलब आप मम्मी की कसम खा के बोलो, लास्ट टाइम आपने पैसा कब खर्च किया था म्यूजिक सुनने के लिए? कोई नहीं करता है इंडिया में. हमको मुफ्त का म्यूजिक चाहिए. We all want artists to, हम लोग, और हम लोगों ने एक बहुत ही अच्छा,
we had to close down our shop in Khan Market.
जी सर,
The music shop, we were, I mean, imagine.
Sir, you are preaching to the choir. हम लोग बहुत सहन कर चुके हैं. हम लोग IPRS में आए दिन ये किस्से देखते हैं that artists are dying.
What a big battle for royalty.
It's a big battle, and we are. I would like to say that we still have a long way to go in becoming global power, global soft power as far as music is concerned.
No, we'll just get to how we can change that in just a second. But yes, Dr. Joe.
I mean, I was very delighted knowing the different facets that have been described. But I'll tell you one thing, G20, lot of pre-G20 men summits are happening. But I'm very delighted that Supriya and the team would take up this matter called Creative Economic Forum. First time, perhaps this thought process being envisaged that culture or cultural aspect would be economized. I am also, I'm a professor of government studies, so I teach media economics and monetization, and I agree with Mayur. What we do currently, whether we go global or Indian cinema or Bollywood or let's say has gone to global sphere, I don't want to comment first. First of all, I should say that taking this advantage that G20 presidencies has come to us, at least we should ensure that all the G20 countries, if our cultural bouquet, the diversity which is the biggest strength, if we could market it properly, diaspora thinks we should first advocate that. We should be proud of our own culture, and there should be not just a government efforts or standpoint, because you need to legalize a lot of things. And second, as a community, we should feel proud. I just tell you two things, and I'm happy that Shivani Madam also talked about that. While I was working for one of the international organizations, Afghanistan, there almost all their provinces I widely traveled, including part of the Balkan countries. I surprisingly found there some crowd are there in the evening time to watch some film. Instead of film is going on in their Pushtu language and all that. And then in Balkan also. But I found that the Indian movies are being edited by their own literature experts. Those are known to our Hindi things. And surprisingly, there is a nice film on that Gumru, that song that we talked about. No? That's Amir Khan and so there are even a lot of films that I see that Bollywood films, even Raj Kapoor's films was very popular that area. So what I mean to say that getting an Oscar or going to Cannes and showcase ourselves, it is one part. If you look at the Bollywood history, if you could look at the historical fact, many of our film producers do not able to fight for Oscar because not a good marketing was done. Mother India is one of such case where the producer put blood and sweat. Throughout country it got so popular, but then poor chap could not got it because he could not market it because there are called sideline marketing done in Cannes. If you go to Sandeep, you could understand that. Lot of PR activity also done, but he was not aware that PR भी करना चाहिए था. So what I believe that currently, at least taking this opportunity, I do not want to talk about a lot of those things and all. Simplest way, my request is, we should proud of our great culture, the diversity that we have, taking the advantage of the G20 countries. If there is a resolution of not only just film, but the music, as rightly Subhadra Ma'am also talked about, all sphere, it's like a bouquet. And second, another point I was tell you, I was told by the Kellogg that India's biggest strength is their culture. First time I've gone to many universities or many places in abroad, my UN terms as well, but then first time one university professor, that too he was teaching strategy, said Indian culture is the biggest component which could be strategically to be understood. And you know what he said? Art of storytelling, which is now you see all the management top schools are now advocating teaching things should be done in an art of storytelling. Media also now started talking about it. If you open AI and through ChatGPT and all, you will get to know that a lot of things that people have taken. And now Google is started doing a big brother job. Look, I am now teaching you what your culture about it. So my request is that I must heads off to her. I'm openly saying that she should be given a standing ovation because at least lot of events done in Delhi and many other parts. First time Creative Economic Forum was organized.
Absolutely.
And it's a great step towards even perhaps the government is listening or maybe listening to her report and all. My simple suggestion, do the diaspora marketing first. We should brand. I'm a brand man. I'm an advertising man basically. Jungle में मोर नाचा किसने देखा? So we need to understand that point that we should popularize, publicize, talk the world that we are the best. Who talk about the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam? And have all of you seen, forget that. The film part was you asked that question. Mother India, all of us have watched. My father also have watched. The essence, the teaching was embedded through the film making. Look at every Indian film. It was giving to a great lesson to the society.
Yes. No, that's
I just want to add one thing. It's very important to know that India is the largest film producing country in the world, and we've been making 2,000 films in 28 different languages. And now that point is valid because see, whether the film is Gujarati or Marathi, Bengali or any of these 28 languages, all of them are doing very well. and many films are being exported and shown abroad. The only thing is that probably you have no interest in a Bengali film or a Tamil film or a Telugu film or a Gujarati film or a Bengali film. Probably you don't even come to know that film, Indian film. So when I am talking about Indian film industry, I'm talking about Indian film industry. I'm not talking about just Hindi film industry. So this is very important. And that's why I said that Indian films are very popular. They are shown all over the world. They are very well received. But as I said, economically we are weak, because you'll be surprised, being the largest film producing country in the world, what is our share? Our total share in world business of cinema is only 7%. So you can imagine that there's still 93% which we can explore, and through proper marketing, advertising and persuasion, we can reach to much larger audience of the world.
Let's then delve into that further. How can that be achieved? Because the fact is, of course, that, and I will open it up in just after this round itself to the audience as well, so you can ask a couple of questions to our eminent panelists. But since we're having the opportunity, as you've said, which is not very often, that we're talking about the creative economy, culture, films, music. But this is our soft power. This is India's soft power, through which we can, further our global footprint across the world. So what more then needs to be done?
Uday, just one point. Another fact also need to be seen while talking about all these things. G20 countries constituting 66% of the world population. So marketability. Now another point all of us sitting here in this room or the panel could understand, why the global platforms are coming to India and marketing it, because knowing that our consumers consuming entertainment power is bigger.
That's the largest audience.
Yeah, so that's what, if we could repackage, rejigging it, branding it in a way. Now
that's why the big OTT giants have come here and are having their global premieres here now. No, but can all of that be used further as well? Can it be used, with Netflix and Amazon Prime now marketing our films more as well? They are marketing their products here, of course, but through the reverse, trend, can our films and music also reach a wider audience? So let's just talk a bit about that now, Ms. Marva. What further now needs to be done? And let's get to some solutions now. As you were saying, the business is very weak right now. So then what needs to improve? Surely we don't want more, expensive theatre tickets, do we? So what further needs to be done to harness this? And also, you said we've gone global. We spoke about Natu Natu. That's just one, though, in the best original song category. How do we win best international foreign language film? How do we win?
Let me also correct you
feature
here.
film?
No, I would
the
like
Korean films have won it, as Mayur was saying. How do our films win it? Because the fact is that the Korean film industry is suddenly booming. How did that happen overnight? The music industry, K-pop is on,
So
every youngster. I mean, most people here must be listening to K-pop rather than perhaps Indian independent pop.
No, Sandeep bhai, I just before you start, the question in my mind is, are we talking about film, Indian films, or are we talking about music in Indian films, or are we talking about Indian music?
or Indian culture, which is a much bigger term.
Everything. That's why we spoke of. That's why our panel today is, as you see, very, very holistic. We have representatives from.
I must tell you, Mark, we are talking.
Yeah.
No.
It has to be about films and music.
It is about
but let's
film
talk
music.
about.
Now
The section is film
Let's
section.
talk to Mr. Marva. Yeah.
This session is
Now,
a film section.
Mr. Marva can't talk about music. So Badra
I
will
can talk about
music. Okay, but Mr. Marva, yes. Now go ahead. Okay, Mr. Marva wants to go first. I'll come to Mayur.
Choices, if you want to speak. Fine. Thank you very much. Let me first correct you. Oscar is not everything, please. This is for the audience also. It's one of the international awards created by USA and meant for a foreign film. Like we have 20 different film awards in India, in different locations, in different states. And I have given a suggestion to all the awards functions in India. Please start foreign category in your awards. Whether you are having an award function in Mumbai or in Madras or in Trivandrum or in Delhi, But let's start a foreign category and let these foreign films fight for an award from an Indian setup. Why are you so greedy about Oscar all the time? It's just good. Thank you.
That's once again, sir. We'll come to the audience in just a second.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
Then this is so. Let's ignore it for the time being. But then the best part is that once, if you get any international awards at Cannes or Oscar, it suddenly highlights our efforts in that particular industry. So that's why it is appreciated on one account. Don't forget that 1/6 of the world stays in India. We're 1/6 of the world. We're the highest populated nation in the world. And this has been one of the cause for all the producers, directors, filmmakers, musicians, music companies, dance companies, that when we have a ready audience in India, why I need to spend in dollars or in sterling pounds to highlight my performance and look for nothing. Because the arranging for a dance recital or a music recital or a film show abroad is very expensive, mind you. You cannot have this kind of event in peanuts. You have to spend tons of money to organize one cultural event. So probably that has also restricted all of us, people who are on the marketing budget, on the production side, that why should, by the time I'll conduct one program, probably I can do 20 programs in India. So our culture has been very popular in India, for sure, and that's one of the reasons that we couldn't do much abroad, because we have not done it. That's one. Second very important point comes here, that it all depends upon individual to individual. When it comes to films, people were very reluctant even filing a nomination for participating in film festivals abroad. I mean, it's been 8 years I'm on FFI, and I've been pursuing film producers that at least forget about whether you get an award or not, send your entry so that people sitting abroad, they should know that how beautiful films we are producing in India. Indian films are now fantastic. We have improved a lot, the techniques wise, the story line wise, the production wise, taking wise, and so many other factors. And that's another factor again. But then 90% of the people, they're not even bothered about sending their films to foreign festivals. So we never got a much exposure abroad about Indian cinema. And there are people abroad, they don't even know that we are the largest film producing country in the world. Now, third very important point is that it all depends upon person to person. Like person like me, who's been in creative arts for now donkey years, and I'm in creative arts for 44 years, and there's hardly an art which I have not indulged in. And the question what you asked is actually my responsibility. I feel it's my responsibility. Being a part of creative industry, I feel it's very important that Indian art altogether, which includes films, must be sent abroad, must people know. And for that, a small setup like me, I have my own radio station. It's a world radio station, Radio Noida, 107.4 FM, and which is an online station. Now I have Radio Raipur and Radio Mumbai, where anyone and everyone can listen to these radios abroad. And I am projecting Indian culture, anything and everything, Indian culture, thoroughly, as much as possible. We have MSTV, which is a world radio, television station, and we are projecting our art and culture through this television. And it's not yet finished. Two more things. Then, to highlight our culture, we are the only one in the country who have given 196 scholarship to 196 countries. Yes. Let people come to India and learn Indian culture, and they must carry a message about what we are in India, and let them be the ambassadors of our Indian culture in their own countries. Yeah. I mean, this is how it is needed. I mean, and these are the ideas which I have done, but many more people can do it.
Okay. I'll come back to you in just a second, but that's an interesting point. So, Dr. Dhruv spoke about diaspora marketing. You're talking, of course, about getting the foreigners here themselves to imbibe it. Also, another important point about, just an Oscar or a Grammy is not a barometer of us going global. Yes, Shivani, come in here on what further needs to be done for Indian music to go further global. Also, for our music to be heard on global radios. Now one is hearing it in foreign music festivals. What further, though, needs to be done? And also, are we sometimes guilty of just talking too much about film music? That's, I think, a point that Subhadra and Mayur were referring to. Should we also talk about the other independent music industry, which is also growing finally?
So I just like to say that as a musician, I can just state a few points which are very specific to artists. So artists should firstly we need to strengthen our own integrity. Our own infrastructure system of the business of music, of the music industry should be strengthened. So I have one complaint. Our music industry is not united. I don't know Mayur if you agree with me or not.
Absolutely.
So मैं आपको बहुत मतलब frankly बोलना चाहती हूँ candidly आज कि आज एक आर्टिस्ट का गाना निकलता है, ठीक है, बहुत बड़ा आर्टिस्ट होगा तो कुछ लोग उनको मक्खन लगाने के लिए अपने ट्विटर पे अपने सोशल मीडिया पे इसका गाना निकला है. Today if an unknown artist comes out with a song and she or he approaches known artist कि सर मेरे सॉन्ग को शेयर कर दीजिए, वो भीख मांगते रह जाते हैं, कोई शेयर नहीं करता क्योंकि हम यूनाइटेड नहीं है. हमारी यूनिटी पहले बढ़ेगी. मयूर ने बहुत ही अच्छा पॉइंट रेज किया आज कि अगर हम अपने आप में ही स्ट्रांग नहीं है तो हम ग्लोबल क्या बन सकते हैं. पहले तो अपने आप को स्ट्रांग करो, अपने आप को स्टार बनाओ, राइट. सो वी एज आर्टिस्ट डोंट नो आवर लीगल राइट्स. आधे से ज्यादा लोग जो आर्टिस्ट होते हैं अपने गानों को रिलीज करते हैं, दे मस्ट रजिस्टर विद IPRS. I think when I started my
Shivani is doing my job.
No, I'm sorry, but I relate to you a lot because I have been through a lot of struggles. I have been through copyright issues. Ji.
There was one of the critical points which was understood now.
Ji.
That had it been done before the IPR and copyright, our film industry, music industry, even the classical music industries got suffered because we don't know many legal compliances.
तो आर्टिस्ट को अपने राइट्स ही नहीं पता है. अभी लकीली जब मैं IPRS से रजिस्टर्ड थी बहुत सालों से, जब से आई स्टार्टेड माय करियर, लकीली बिकॉज मैं सारेगामा HMV के साथ साइन थी तो उन्होंने मुझे इसके बारे में बताया था. मेरा सॉन्ग सजना अभी जाकर बहुत बड़ा कॉपीराइट इन्फ्रिंजमेंट होने वाला था. लीगल केस वाज इन द कोर्ट क्योंकि मैं IPRS की रजिस्टर्ड आर्टिस्ट थी. मैंने वो केस जीत लिया और मेरा गाना मेरे पास वापस आ गया. लेकिन बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें जिसमें हम लोग रोते रहते हैं, स्ट्रगल करते रहते हैं, लोग हमारे गानों को चुरा लेते हैं, पता नहीं क्या क्या नहीं हो जाता. सो यहाँ पे पायरेसी, चोरी, चीटिंग बहुत कुछ है. सो फर्स्ट लेट अस क्लेंज आवरसेल्फ, अपना डिटॉक्सिफिकेशन करते हैं. लेट्स क्लीन आवरसेल्फ, लेट्स इंट्रोड्यूस द बिजनेस एंड द लीगैलिटीज ऑफ द म्यूजिक इंडस्ट्री एज अ वेरी बिग सिलेबस इन. सर अगर आप अपने इंस्टीट्यूट में इसको लाएं तो एक लेक्चर बहुत जरूरी है ताकि जो स्टूडेंट्स आते हैं उनको सीखना पड़ेगा कि भाई सबसे पहले हमारे राइट्स क्या है, हमारे लीगल इश्यूज क्या आ सकते हैं, हम अपने आप को प्रोटेक्ट कैसे कर सकते हैं. पायरेसी तो है ही है बट लीगल राइट्स भी लॉट्स ऑफ पीपल
perhaps the government can also step in.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay.
So I feel that I won't make it too long. We need to cleanse ourselves first, strengthen our own integrity and know our rights. ये सब होगा तो फिर बाकी स्टेप पे हम आ ही जाएंगे. बाकी तो there's a lot we are all, I mean there's so much talent in our country, so much that people wow us abroad, all of that is there. But अगर हम अपने आप को मजबूत ही नहीं बनाएंगे तो हम बाहर अपने आप को कैसे प्रोजेक्ट कर पाएंगे. So मैं तो सिर्फ यही कहना चाहूंगी. That is my main point. बाकी I'm sure there are our co-panelists will talk about.
Dr. Desai, why don't you come in on and you made an important point earlier, Dr. Desai, that for classical music it's not something new going global.
और एक और चीज के प्लीज आप आर्टिस्ट के ऊपर थोड़ा पैसा खर्चे. अगर कोई कॉन्सर्ट हो रहा है भाई तो 50 रुपए की भी टिकट तो खरीदो यार. आपके 50 रुपए ना उन आर्टिस्ट की को बढ़ावा देंगे.
सबसे दुख की बात यह है, सॉरी जी, सबसे दुख की बात यह है कि एक आर्टिस्ट को इस तरह से बोलना पड़े. दिस इज द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट स्टोरी ऑफ इंडिया.
अगर आप किसी एस्ट्रोलॉजर के पास भी जाते हैं तो आप अपनी चार्ट जन्मपति बनवाते हैं तो आप देते हैं ना उसको 1100 रुपए. तो सिमिलर इट इज एन एनर्जी एक्सचेंज ना. आप कुछ सुन रहे हैं, आप एंटरटेन हो रहे हैं और आप म्यूजिक इज सच अ बिग थेरेपी. इट इज सो मैजिकल. सो
हम लोगों ने वो आर्टिस्ट गरीब होना चाहिए, दुखी होना चाहिए, परेशान होना चाहिए, उसको बड़ा रोमांटिसाइज कर दिया. द नोशन दैट एन आर्टिस्ट शुड बी भूखा नंगा तभी तो अच्छा आर्ट क्रिएट करेगा. दुख है तभी नहीं. भाई मैं बहुत सुख में अच्छा आर्ट क्रिएट कर सकता हूँ, मुझे दुखी मत करो.
You were saying earlier about how Pandit Ravi Shankar, went global many years ago. But is the main point that you look for quality over quantity? You don't just look for numbers and the reach of classical music. Look for quality. Is that something?
Absolutely. You see, we are talking about अब बहुत सारे इंटीग्रिटी की बात अभी आपने किया. इंटीग्रिटी कहाँ है? हम नहीं चाहते इंटीग्रिटी, हम नहीं देखना चाहते, क्योंकि बड़े से बड़े ग्रेटेस्ट ऑफ आर्टिस्ट, ग्रेटेस्ट ऑफ म्यूजिशियंस हैव डिसग्रेस्ड अस, वी ऑल नो। और ऐसा हुआ है, हमारे देश से बड़े कलाकार वो देश छोड़ के जाके चले गए, अमेरिका जाके अपना बहुत बड़ा इंस्टीट्यूट बना लिया, वहां से जाकर उनका जो म्यूजिक है वो एकदम उच्च तार में बंधा हुआ है, और उनके जो शागिर्द हैं, उनके जो शिष्य परंपरा है, वो इतनी अच्छी भारतीय शास्त्रीय संगीत का गायन और शिक्षण इतना अच्छा कर रहे हैं। मैं अभी नाम नहीं बताना चाहती किसी का, लेकिन हमारे बड़े से बड़े जो शास्त्रीय संगीत के कलाकार, गायक हैं, विद्वान, ऐसे बहुतों ने बाहर जाकर के यूएस में, यूके में और बहुत सारे और कंट्रीज में उन्होंने बड़े बड़े ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस ऐसे बना लिया, और वहां जो शास्त्रीय संगीत का शिक्षण जिस लेवल पे वहां हो रहा है, अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो हमारे यहाँ नहीं हो रहा है। क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ क्या है कि लोगों को ऐसा लगता है कि हम अपने बच्चों को शास्त्रीय संगीत सिखाएं, उसके बाद वो शो में जाएगा, वो शो में जाके फिल्मी म्यूजिक ही गाएगा। ये अपने देश का दुर्भाग्य है। अगर ऐसा हमारे लोग सोच रहे हैं, हम एज पेरेंट्स हमारे बच्चों को यही शिक्षा दे रहे हैं कि भाई क्योंकि उसमें पैसा है, क्लासिकल म्यूजिक में तो पैसा नहीं है, तो फिर किस लिए इतना कष्ट करना। मेरे एक बहुत अच्छे मित्र हैं जो बहुत फेमस गिटारिस्ट हैं, उनका नाम भी मैं नहीं कर रही हूँ। उन्होंने मुझे कहा कि क्या तुम लोग शास्त्रीय संगीत वाले सारेगामा पदनिसा जिंदगी भर साधते रहते हो, क्या साधते हो? मैंने कहा आपको नहीं पता लगेगा, सॉरी, अगर आपको पता करना है तो राग संगीत सीखिए। बट वही है, इसीलिए हम लोगों को ऐसा नहीं लगता कि दुनिया भर में मिलियंस ऑफ पीपल आर नॉट सीकिंग अस आउट, because only people who have that kind of sensibility will seek Hindustani and Carnatic classical music out. आप you look at Western music, Western classical music में भी बाख, बीथोवन, मोत्सार्ट सब लोग नहीं सुनते हैं। सब लोगों को सुनने की वो सेंसिबिलिटी नहीं है। वो
interesting thing about Western classical music is even though it is born in Europe and it's designed and the rules and everything were written in Europe, today Russia is the biggest exporter of classical music in the world. So what I'm saying is that the culture can be appropriated and तो अब हमारे जो लोग हैं वो यहाँ से क्लासिकल छोड़ के अगर फॉरेन चले जाएंगे वो लोग सीख लेंगे, नुकसान हमारा है, म्यूजिक का नुकसान नहीं है,
यही कहना
नुकसान रहेगा हमारा रहेगा, म्यूजिक तो
वहां से सरोज सीख के आते हैं, सीख रहे हैं वहां पे 20 साल सीख के जब यहाँ आके बजाते हैं, हमारे देश के जो सरोज प्लेयर्स हैं उनसे बेहतर बजाते हैं। ये ऐसा क्यों है? क्या इसके लिए हु इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल?
मैं इसमें एक चीज ऐड करना चाहता हूँ। ये सब लोग भूल रहे हैं कि मीडिया और एंटरटेनमेंट इंडस्ट्री के अंदर हिंदुस्तान में 1 करोड़ आदमी काम करता है, और जब मैं 1 करोड़ बोलता हूं तो हंगरी, नेदरलैंड, स्वीडन, इनकी पॉपुलेशन 1 करोड़ से कम है। आप अंदाजा लगाइए। The abundant, there's so many people who are doing the same kind of job. I mean, obviously it gets divided. This we have to somewhere keep in mind. तो जितने मीडिया और एंटरटेनमेंट में 1 करोड़ आदमी, पूरी हंगरी भर गया। आप तो सोचिए, पूरा हंगरी जो है वो आर्टिस्ट है और वहां रहता है। सो दैट गेट्स डिवाइडेड। और जो क्लासिकल म्यूजिक है वो ये मत भूलिए कि इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ द डीप कल्चर ऑफ इंडिया। और जो लाइट म्यूजिक है, जिसको फिल्म म्यूजिक आप लोग कह रहे हैं, दैट इज द वन वर्जन ऑफ अ कल्चर। वो कल्चर से बाहर नहीं है, वो उन्हीं जो क्लासिकल और सेमी क्लासिकल को लाइट कर आम जनता तक पहुंचाने का एक बड़ा सरल तरीका है।
Yes. No, it's not a war. It's not a war. It's about coexisting and about taking everyone together. Mayur, I'm beginning to run out of time.
Yeah,
so I'm going to request you both, Doctor.
Lot of things that I want to say. That already our eminent panelists have covered those topics, but I want to tell you. आपको थोड़ा शिबानी की बात सुन के और सुभद्रा मैम की बात सुन के भी थोड़ा, या मैंने भी जो पहले बोला था उसको ध्यान में रख के शायद आपको थोड़ा बुरा लगे या शायद थोड़ा डिप्रेसिंग भी लगे आर्ट का सीन या कला का सीन आपको यहाँ पे, और आपको लगे शायद हमने जल्दबाजी में तो जय हिंद नहीं बोल दिया, ऐसा भी हो सकता है। लेकिन मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ कि हम अकेले नहीं है इस प्रॉब्लम में। ये प्रॉब्लम हर जगह पे, देयर इज अ वेरी बिग monster of corporate colonization happening. I'll talk about that. But before that, let me give you an example. Last year, I was in Korea in November, and the COMCA people, they gave a presentation, and it was very amazing. They said that आप सबको पता है कोरिया का एक गाना जो सबसे पहले फेमस होता है, K-pop तो बाद में आया ना, पहले तो एक ही था वो, क्या था? गैंगनम स्टाइल. सबको पता है गैंगनम स्टाइल, करेक्ट? गैंगनम स्टाइल बनाने वाला जो सिंगर था साई, जब उन लोगों ने पूरे साल भर में, उनको लगा हमारा म्यूजिक तो पूरे वर्ल्ड में चल रहा है गाना, तो उसको पूरे वर्ल्ड की जब रॉयल्टी कलेक्ट करके आई तो केवल $27,000 थी. केवल $27,000 का मोनेटाइजेशन कर पाया वो इतने बड़े गाने का. तो ये सिर्फ हमारे साथ. उसके बाद कॉमका ने हाथ, वो लोग जैसे हम IPRS में हम लोग यहाँ पे वी आर क्रिएट फ्रॉम 2017 when we were distributing 46 crores. Last year we have crossed 550 crores. This year 550 करोड़ की रॉयल्टी हम बांट चुके. What I'm trying to say is, तो हमने भी अब कमर कस लिया. वैसे कॉमका वालों ने जो है वो कमर कसी. ये साई का एग्जाम्पल होने के बाद क्या कहीं ना कहीं अन्याय होता है, उसके बाद ही न्याय की गुहार लगती है, उसके बाद ही लोग खड़े होते हैं. सो जब भूखे होते हैं तभी क्रांति करते हैं ना लोग. सो दैट हैपेंड, एंड नाउ K-pop is the biggest, almost they will surpass Japan this year probably. So they are the biggest music suppliers in the world, and they are doing such good work. तो हम भी, हमारे लिए तो बहुत आसान है. कोरिया कितना ऐसा, गुजरात से भी छोटा है वो. ऐसा वलसाड सूरत मिला देंगे तो आ जाएगा कोरिया का पॉपुलेशन. 4 शहर है वहां पे, गांव में वहां कोई नहीं रहता. 80
तो ये भी मत भूलिए कि कच्चा बादाम जो है वो भी तो सारी दुनिया में पॉपुलर हो गया. हिंदुस्तान की गली से निकला हुआ
मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ. लेकिन सर उसको क्या मिला? उसको द प्रॉब्लम इज कि वो बनाने वाले को क्या मिला. सवाल, आप जब भी गाना सुने ना, मेरी आज की गुहार यही है कि आफ्टर टुडे सेशन व्हेन यू गो आउट, व्हेन यू हियर अ सॉन्ग, प्लीज थिंक अबाउट हुज रिटन दिस सॉन्ग, प्लीज थिंक अबाउट हुज कंपोज दिस सॉन्ग, एंड प्लीज थिंक इन योर माइंड, आर दे गेटिंग एनीथिंग? उनको मिल रहा है क्या कुछ इससे? आप ये सोचिए. बहुत ये सोशल कॉन्शियसनेस का इश्यू है. ये सोचने वाली बात है. हम हिंदुस्तान में जुगाड़ करके म्यूजिक सुन लेने को, जुगाड़ करके आर्ट का मजा लेने को, हम उसको ही एक आर्ट और उसको बड़ा अपना, हम अपने कमीनेपन, अपनी चोरी और अपना जो ये स्वभाव है उसको हम बड़े गर्व से यूज करते. क्या है, मैं पैसे खर्च करता ही नहीं इन चीजों के पीछे. ये फालतू पैसे मैं खर्च नहीं करता, मैं सिर्फ मजे लेता हूँ. तो प्लीज वी हैव टू चेंज दैट माइंडसेट, वी हैव टू चेंज दैट मेंटालिटी. ओके.
Okay, I believe a lot of things have been spoken. So I do not want to further talking about the negative facets, but taking this advantage.
I think we started off on an optimistic note.
Yeah.
Then we got very realist.
No. Okay. So no. Okay. Anyway, I am putting in an optimistic note. Can this forum recommend that popularizing all forms of dance or all forms of arts format plus the film industry? And Sandeep ji put it in the right way, because if you look at post-corona in Indian scenario, after wellness and healthcare, entertainment sector is growing. Because if you calculate all 12 divisions, film, music, radio, so roughly around 1.67 crore population is getting job. Yeah. So no, I'm saying 1.67. You look at the Economic Times report, then the 39.87 lakhs population, they are in the high-end category, like a producer or a music director or a music composer, lyricist. I'm talking about those brigade.
Correct.
Multiplied into 23 dialectical part. The language. I mean, one is called language, which is a script, and the dialect, which doesn't have a script, but dialect is popular. So, cumulatively, can the Creative Economic Forum suggest the government on because Biden is coming and the G20 summit, can the resolution to be done that the diaspora marketing vis-a-vis popularizing the culture, all countries should allow the free flow of cultural exchange. Government should play a facilitator, learning the lesson from the Russian example. You book a Russian troop to India, their Ministry of Culture first will say how many sessions you are conducting, how many public is expected to participate, all data they ask. We don't ask. sending the troop, and they will perform and come back. Then we'll say, okay, so many has gone, and we put our annual report. Rather than we should say how much movement has been done and how much it has been monetized. If Shivani Madam or Subhadra Madam getting 10 calls or 100 calls after they come back from abroad, that means we are monetizing things. Our revenue will grow, our reserve will grow. What one? Two, artistic area or the entertainment or film or the media, we must also train them in a regular manner on skill enhancement and some legal aspects and all. Like my students are here, we teach them the IPR or copyright as a mandatory subject because they should know.
Yes.
Because in a digital era, you are creating a digital incubation through YouTube, then you monetize, you earn money, but you also never understand. Many times you do some copy paste job and you got a notice from
great.
there.
That in your media institute you've also taken forward.
So my point is telling them also how to marketing it.
Okay.
So what we have just done a few good things on handloom and handicraft part. I believe the similar treatment. My final point, last point, Subhadra ma'am, you will be glad to know, or partially Shivani also could agree with me. Music therapy is now being used for healthcare purposes, psychiatric treatment, mental wellness, holistic wellness, and management school is now teaching the sound or the music therapy.
Fantastic. Okay, I think we just need to get maybe one question from the audience, and we'll wrap up.
1 second. Sorry. Before you frame your question, Indian music industry is 22 billion Indian rupees है. 2200 करोड़ की इंडस्ट्री है, ठीक है, 2022 में, and in the next 2 years by 2025 they are going to become 3300 crores. Music industry, I'm not talking about movies. Only, don't you think we deserve an industry status? Don't you think we deserve compliance? Don't you? It's such a big industry, and our copyright law is one of the best copyright laws in the world.
Yeah.
Only we need compliance. We just need compliance.
That's another thing for the government to consider. You also made a point for the government to consider. Yes, I think. Okay. Yes, please.
My question goes to Shivani. I'm here. Yeah, hi. The question goes to you. You know, if you look at the entertainment industry, OTT's been really good because it's enabled monetization of smaller films. If you look at the revenue they've been able to generate. So if you look at films and documentaries, all of that revival, OTT's been good and it's taken our cinema overseas. But on the music side, could you give us a perspective of what could be new avenues like this, or how could this be leveraged to enable revenue for you guys? Because as he says, 2,200 crores is a very small amount. So what could be, and is there an OTT strategy for music, for example? What would you plan to do?
Good question.
Excellent question, actually. I mean, last we saw something wonderful like the Bandish Bandits, right? I think it did extremely well. I don't know how economically or financially what really happened with that. Mayur would be able to answer that question very well. But as an artist, I really don't know how OTT, being a part of an OTT, like I've sung for various OTT series, but I don't know how the money would come to me. Now, as a singer, independent singer, I know how the money comes to me. It comes to me via IPRS or other royalties, or if I've released a track and it's on my own channel, then I have tied up with Believe recently. So I'd just like to give a little insight into this. That if artists today want to be truly independent, they can tie up with audio aggregators like Believe and many others. I've done that. So I get revenue from the audio streaming platforms like Spotify, Amazon Music, etc. and various others. I don't really know how directly I would benefit financially.
It's already there. आप जो बात कर रहे हैं, जैसे फिल्मों के लिए या टीवी है, उस सब के लिए नेटफ्लिक्स है, अमेजॉन है, ये ओटीटी विजुअल प्लेटफॉर्म है, मगर वैसे ही ओटीटी ऑडियो प्लेटफॉर्म बहुत सारे हैं. स्पॉटिफाई है, एप्पल म्यूजिक है, यूट्यूब म्यूजिक. इनफैक्ट लॉकडाउन के वक्त हमको लगा था हम बंद हो जाएंगे. हमारा बिल्कुल लाइव इवेंट्स जो हमारी मेन इनकम 80% हमारा ये था, वो जीरो हो गया. तो हमको लगा हम तो बिल्कुल बर्बाद हो जाएंगे. हाउ विल वी रन द कंपनी? नथिंग. बट थैंकफुली ड्यूरिंग द लॉकडाउन देयर वाज सो मच generation of revenues on YouTube. Today YouTube is giving us almost 70% of our revenues. What we are getting is actually from YouTube Music. How many of you have subscribed to YouTube Music? किसी ने नहीं किया होगा, हम लोग फ्री में वीडियो ही देखते हैं। देखिए, जब आप YouTube म्यूजिक सब्सक्राइब करते हैं तो वो जो म्यूजिक एसेट होता है उसका सॉन्ग, मैं बहुत क्विकली बता रहा हूँ, ये बहुत लंबा सेशन हो सकता है, वो सॉन्ग रिकॉर्डिंग एसेट होता है, उसकी फिंगरप्रिंटिंग होता है। मतलब कि दुनिया में कहीं पे भी किसी ने भी देखा, जितनी बार स्ट्रीम हुआ है, उसका पैसा उसके कंपोजर, उसके लिरिसिस्ट को जाता है। लेकिन जब आप वीडियो के तौर पे एज अ वेब एसेट अपलोड करते हैं तो वो नहीं जाता है, क्योंकि उसकी फिंगरप्रिंटिंग नहीं होती है। तो ये बहुत सारी भी वहां अब्रॉड सब लोग के पास में सब्सक्रिप्शन होता है, सब लोग स्पॉटिफाई लेते हैं, एप्पल म्यूजिक लेते हैं, यूट्यूब म्यूजिक लेते हैं, हम लोग सब्सक्राइब करते नहीं है और वो करते हैं। दूसरी बात, ये भी एक छलावा और ये भी एक भ्रम है एज ऑफ नाउ कि ओटीटी पे वीडियो कंटेंट जो उन लोगों ने शुरू किया उसकी वजह से बड़े बारे न्यारे हो गए ऑल दैट। सर, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट उनके रोने लायक है, कुछ भी नहीं मिलता है। जिस आदमी ने स्क्विड गेम बनाया, इतना बड़ा शो है, उसको कुछ नहीं मिला है। He has earned very little money out of it. So ये छलावा है, ये बहुत अलग, बहुत गंदे तरीके का corporate
reach has increased. Their reach has increased.
Last point,
yes,
I'd like to just add to this.
Remuneration may not have. Yeah.
So you were talking about OTT, but I think we artists still depend on our financial benefit only through our gigs, our events. And yes, during the lockdown time, we did lots of virtual concerts, which did fetch us, which kept us sustained, and we survived on that. But ultimately, it's the concert. So live entertainment must be kept alive, I feel, because I still think that getting money through audio streaming platforms, etc., is going to be, it's going to come of age. It's going to take some more time for it to actually be an instant gratification. So instant gratification ke liye, we need to keep the live event circuit alive.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what.
So let me close with the positive. Let me close with the positive note.
Can I just say one more thing before you say the positive thing? Sir ने रेडियो की बात की. Radio is not doing any service in India to lyricists and composers or even singers. They are not paying 1 rupee of royalty. So radios are rubbish. According to me, radios are not servicing music at all in this country. Big the mobile network companies, they are giving ringtones and callback tones for free, and it's ridiculous. किसी और का बच्चा उठा के आपने दे दिया, वैसी वाली बात है. So हमको ये बड़े बड़े नाम और हमको लगता है यार ये लोग तो जरूर म्यूजिक को जिंदा रख रहे हैं, ये लोग तो जरूर पैसे दे रहे हैं, ये लोग नहीं दे रहे. इंडिया में बहुत बड़ा compliance issue है.
And what I really want to tell you is that we need not to get so depressed, because the media and entertainment industry, what we are projecting in 2025, that is going to be 4,25,000 crore industry. The Indian GDP is growing at the rate of 7%, but media and entertainment industry is growing at the rate of 14% per annum. I mean, the total contribution of this industry towards the making average of India's GDP is so high. So I think we all have to look into the right angles, right departments, right segment, right people. And I'm 100% sure that the scope of growth is abundant. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you all so much. I'm afraid I think we need to wrap this up. We'll continue this conversation outside because our audience is here. So we'll continue this conversation today. It's been such a holistic panel, and kudos to Supriya for curating it. You've had someone representing the film industry and also giving us the perspective of Studio House. You had a singer who sings for film and non-film. You have a classical singer. You have a lyricist who also is, responsible, of course, for IPRS, the royalty and the legality of the music industry. And you also have someone, again, from the Media Institute background, media learning and education in media and entertainment as well. So very holistic panel and holistic conversation we've had, and I know our audience is dying to ask more questions, but we have to wrap up. Thank you all so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Uday Pratap Singh, for such a wonderful.
What a fantastic panel to end this forum. I would like to thank all the panelists. If I could request my team to please present them with a memento. They will come, they've heard me. It's the fifth time now. And a very, very special, here's the team with the memento. A very, very special thanks to Supriya and Ajay for putting this together. Special thanks to this venue, IGNCA, Ministry of Culture, Government of India for being the official venue partner. The Indian Council of Cultural Relations and the G20 Secretariat Ministry of External Affairs for supporting the program. A very special thanks to all our knowledge partners, Lalit Kala Academy, National Film Development Corporation, National Book Trust, Producers Guild of India and Indian Performing Rights Society, National Book Trust, Radio City, NDTV and Good Times. Wishing you all a fantastic evening, and we look forward to having you for more such forums.
Have a great evening and thank you so much.